Welcome to the Smarter Money Life podcast hosted by Andy Mattingly. Frequent guest on local TV news, regular segment on Indy Now TV, and a leader here at Forum Credit Union. Forum's mission is to help members lead their financial dreams, and in today's podcast, we're going to cover a topic that will help you improve your financial life. Have you had any financial talks with your child that might be leaving for college or trade school? Whether it's a 2-year school, 4-year school. Do you know what your older kids should know about money? Hi, everyone. This is Andy Mattingly, and I'm back to talk today about some of the financial concepts that you might need to be talking to your kids about that are leaving home soon. If you want them to be successful adults, they need to start their financial journey in a smart way. So let's talk about some of these things. You know, no kid wants to have a budget, but the thing you can talk to them about is having a spending plan, because when you're away from home, there's a lot of opportunities with the freedom to spend their money. And it can become a real problem for them. So talk to them about having a spending plan and making sure they're not putting too much money into a lot of activities that they are going to run out of money before the semester is over, especially if they don't have the opportunity to earn more money while they're in school. You also want to remind them, because they probably haven't done a lot of this on their own, to take advantage of student perks and deals. Almost every college town caters to students, and they offer all kinds of deals and perks to help them save money on almost anything. So you want to make sure that they're looking for those and finding the best deals. Now, another important thing, regardless of whether it's a trade school or somewhere else, make sure they're thinking about borrowing as little as possible to pay for college. You know, they may have to work a little bit, they may need some assistance, but you don't want to get into a lot of student loan debt. You want to make sure that they feel comfortable they can pay it off in 10 years or less after they're done. So that's a good barometer for what they can do, and they can calculate that pretty easily. Now, this is going to be a new one. They're going to have to start taking some care of their accounts to avoid fees. If this is the first time that you've sent a child away to school, remember they're probably 18, which means they're a legal adult, which means you have no access to the bursar account unless they give it to you. And if you're afraid that they're not going to pay attention to when fees and other things are due, then you need to have them set up some ways so that you can help them monitor those accounts. But then they also need to set up mobile alerts and other things like that on all of their deposit and credit card accounts if you're giving them one, so they can avoid fees and know what's going on with it. Now, your kids probably have every payment app there is because they've paid all of their friends. Well, when they get to school, there's going to be a bigger use of payment apps, and they need to understand really how they work and be very careful with these payment apps and know who they're sending money to, because, you know, there may be 7 Sally Jones when they get to school, and they need to make sure they're picking the right one that they're giving the money to. So they need to understand those things and also have a strong password on their payment app. You also want them to be organized, especially if they're not living in student housing, but they're living on their own. They're going to have some bills they're going to have to pay. You want to make sure they're organized with those so they're not late or the electricity gets shut off, something like that. Plus, it can also impact their credit score. You want them to learn to be a smart shopper. Talk about comparison shopping, talk about the 24-hour rule before making an unplanned purchase, and let them understand that there are tons of digital coupons out there. Now, your kids are going to laugh at you when you say this one, but you need to tell them they need to be social media savvy. And they're probably laughing because you don't even know how to talk about all of the different social media apps that they're using, and you say them all wrong. But what you can tell them is they need to make sure they're not oversharing on social media. And make sure that they don't click on links for free things or links that are going to download malicious malware even on their phones. So you need to talk to them a little bit about that, because they're probably not used to that. But once they turn 18 or they get to college, there's going to be a lot more efforts to get that information from them. The next thing is you need to talk to them about spotting scams quickly. Email, text, and like I talked about social media links, they're going to talk about free tickets, high-paying jobs, deeply discounted merchandise, different things like that, or scare tactics, trying to tell them that this happened or that happened, that they saw them speeding and they're going to get a ticket, or different things like that. So you need to talk to them about that and, have them understand that it's okay to ask you or someone else if this is a scam or not. Now, this is important for you to understand. You need to make sure that they plan for fun, because you want them to have fun, and you want them to have fun all semester long. So that's how you need to make sure that you say, hey, you want to go and get tickets to the game or certain concert plays. well, then that means other nights you need to find ways to have low or no cost funds. And those are things that if they plan for the semester, they can really do that. And that's coming back to having that spending plan. And the last thing is make sure they consider gig work when they can set the schedule so it doesn't interfere with their school or their fun, and they can earn extra income. And that could be ride sharing, food delivery, anything that allows them the freedom that they want. All of these things are going to be new experiences. So you can't sit down and lecture them. You need to sit down and talk about things that they're doing and showing them how to do it and have some regular conversations with them. Don't ask leading questions so that you can have the gotcha moment. Make sure that they feel comfortable talking to you about mistakes that they've made. We all learn from mistakes. Share your mistakes, and you may have forgotten your mistakes, but we've all made mistakes when they've been in their situation. And share with that so they can learn from that. And give them the tools. Make sure they have their own account. Make sure they have that responsibility. And what you'll find out, you'll have built someone who, when they get out of whatever school they're going to, they'll make a lot better decisions, and they won't have some of the struggles that others have. Because as I said, it's a new experience, and no school is helping them with this. But if they have the proper money skills, it's going to be fun, and it's going to be rewarding. This has been another episode of the Smarter Money Life podcast powered by Forum Credit Union. Please leave your thoughts in the comments and be sure to look for our next episode wherever you get your podcast. Remember, now is a great time to make a difference in your financial life. Until next time.